many can't play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Toronto Mounties and the Carolina Panthers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Got it. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Watch the slant. Get it.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Sam off. 25, check 25. Shoot.
On the counter, here's Jones. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready.
To throw on 3rd down, Donaldson. Open man is Westbrook, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Donaldson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Here we go. 10-2 start.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Hey, echo.
Off the play fake. Griggs. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzama. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, Alpha. Get it.
2nd and 9 now. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown! Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Bryce Love, 79 yards. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here.
Let's go. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd down, Johnson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Griggs. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Hey, lock it. Be gripping.
On first down, here's Love. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Tight as Ringo. Tight as on Ringo.
From the gun, Donaldson. The open man is Westbrook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So on the other side of the field now, it's first and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Ready.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Off the bootleg, Donaldson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33.
Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Toronto Mounties and the Carolina Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? 18 Gator.
What's the run? They're running it.
Get it.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run it with Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Here we go on second and 12. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Down, 30 base. Check, 9. Come to pilot, 64,
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a throw here to his running back.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
53, check 53. Here it comes.
Throwing on first down. Griggs. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Here's a second and 7. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
At their own 40-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd down, Love. And an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go. 60 or. Ready.
They'll run again with Love on 1st down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Donaldson. James has got it. Complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hatchet. Jim. Begin.
From the gun, Donaldson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that
and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Ronald Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On third down, Griggs. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Back to throw. Griggs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2nd and 11. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Donaldson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
First down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Griggs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here we go. 50, plant. Look at me. Door.
To throw on second down. Griggs. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a two-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They go to Johnson again. And an alley to run. And nothing but daylight ahead. A big run there by Johnson. 59 yards for him on the ground. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check. 53. Hey, over. 53. Double dog. That's the way. Ready?
From the gun, Griggs. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll start the drive with Love here. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Right, it appeared to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rock it. Under 10, 10. Roll out. Check three.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. It's Watson. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off. It's Love. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line.
Here we go. Henry. Hey, keep it up.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Let's go.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Staying on the ground, it's Love. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. This is Jones. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Back to throw. Donaldson. Now they go screen. It's complete. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Donaldson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Donaldson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eddie Goldman with a sack. Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
First down and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
We own them. Go.
To throw on 3rd down. Donaldson got his man complete over the middle. That's Love. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Right. He's done right here.
On 1st down, Donaldson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Come on, set. 18, Gator. the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
2nd and 15. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Donaldson. This throw caught right around the 6. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Safety screaming. X3. 218. Chop it. Bravo.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now Jones. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Ronald Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
53. Mike 53. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Griggs. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. But it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Griggs. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
It's a party now. It's a party now. Shoot. 6-6. Pull it high.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Ready up.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Carolina, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You don't want smoke, though. You don't want problems.